Hello, good morning. And we are here again to our subject, Practical Research 1. And today is our second to the last meeting. So next meeting, we'll have discussion like this. What you need to do is to present your project or your performance task for this quarter, which is your chapter 1 to 3 of your research. So I'll be grading you by group and by individual regarding that matter. No? So expect my questions, and also I will review if the suggested um, changes, no, yung mga pinapabago ko sa inyo ay nagawa. So part of my grading next meeting. So next meeting is our last meeting for this school year, for this SEM, and then for this subject, Practical Research 1. So next school year, you will be conducting a research quantitative. So this time, ang ating diniscuss is all about qualitative. So if you are going to recall, last meeting, we talked about observation and interview. So those are the process of gathering the data, no, when it comes to qualitative research, right? So after gathering the data, so the same procedure naman yan kahit quantitative, no? After gathering the data, the next step is the presentation of the data, interpretation, and then analysis. So right now, ang ating topic ay data analysis. So we're going to analyze and interpret the data that we collected. All right? So data analysis is a process of understanding data or known facts or assumptions serving as the basis of any claims or conclusions you have about something. You collect this data in many ways, no? Through observation. So yun nga ang ating diniscuss last meeting, no? Through observation, wala kang gagawin kundi tingnan lamang ang uri ng kanilang pamumuhay. You don't need to ask any question, just live with them. Interview, yan na-discuss na rin natin. Documentary analysis, research instrument, no, yung mga questionnaire. Okay, in analyzing data, you go through coding and collating. So coding is the act of using symbols like letters or words to represent arbitrary or subject data. So emotions, opinions, attitudes to ensure secrecy or privacy of the data. No? Coding. So may ginagamit tayong mga codes um, in analyzing the data. No? Sa chapter 3 nyo, meron niyang, like for example, Likert scale, no? Yung range between 4 to 5, like something that, no, ano ba kaya ang mga symbols niyan. So it is strongly agree kaya, no? So using coding. Collating is the way of bringing together the encoded data. So collating, parang pagko-collect lang, no? Bringing together the encoded data, that's collating. So data matrix, the term data matrix is also used to name this table of responses that consists of table of cases and their associated variables. These are two types of data matrix, or they are, no? The profile matrix shows measurements of variables or factors for a set of cases or respondents. That's profile matrix, no? Shows measures of variables or factors for a set of cases or respondents. Proximity matrix naman indicates measurements of similarities and differences between items. That's proximity matrix. In qualitative data analysis or in qualitative research, you analyze or study data that reflect the respondent thoughts, feelings, attitudes, or view about something. These are subjective data that are expressed in words, and these words serve as the unit of analysis in a quantitative type of research. So in quantitative, you are like for example nga yung ating one of the process or tools in collecting data is observation. So you're going to observe and collect data by what? By observing their thoughts, their feelings, their attitudes, or views about something. So quantitative analysis, on the other hand, no, is a time-consuming process. No, it makes you deal with data coming from wide source of information. No, wide source of information. Actually, yung mga nako-collect na data kapag quantitative, ikino-convert natin siya into numerical data para ma-interpret natin and then ma-present ng maayos sa ating chapter 4. All right, so that's it for data analysis. Later, I will show you how to make an analysis, no, or data analysis. So this time we'll continue our discussion. So lesson 16 na tayo, that's drawing a conclusion. So after presenting, analysis, interpretation of the data, so you need to make a conclusions. No? Based on the data that you gathered, and then once you presented it, na-analyze mo na, so magkakaroon ka ngayon ng conclusions. And that's very important because based on your conclusion, dyan naman tayo mag-create or gagawa ng isang recommendations. Okay, so what is conclusions? Conclusion is a type of inferential or interpretative thinking that derives its validity, truthfulness, or reasonableness from sensory experience. Touching, seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling things around you lead to particular conclusion about each of those experiences. In your research work, your next move after analyzing the data you have gathered is drawing a conclusion. So very important, no, na magkaroon tayo ng conclusions. No? Ito yung ating napuna based on the data gathered. No? Yung mga tumatak or yung mga most significant, like for example, sa ating research, let's say ang research nyo ay related sa mental health. So ating makikita na most of the people suffering mental health is men. Parang gano'n, no? So parang in your conclusion, you are going to what? To present the most and yung sabi ko nga, yung medyo yung pinakamataas, no? Yung tumatak nga, no? Sa Tagalog, no? This makes you from conclusion that arises from factual data you encountered and analyzed. Any conclusions that you give about what you found out through your analysis of the data you collected is a warranted conclusion, which explains how the evidence or finding resulting from your data analysis stands to prove or disprove your conclusions. No? So pointers in writing conclusion, explain your point in simple and clear sentences. No? When you are writing or drawing a conclusion, explain your point in a simple and clear sentences. No? Hindi ito pahabaan ng sentence, no? Kung paulit-ulit lang din naman. So explain your point in simple and clear sentences. Use expression that center on the topic rather than on yourselves, the researchers. No? Center on the topic, not yourselves. Baka kasi nag-create ka ng conclusion or nag-draw ka ng conclusion na based on your feelings. No, it must be based on the data that you collected. Include only necessary items, exclude any piece of information or picture not closely related to your report. No, exclude any piece of information or picture not closely related to your report. So ano yung mga report na ito? The presentation of your data, yung iyong na-analyze na data. So meaning, exclude mo na, hindi mo na isasama yung mga information na hindi naman kasama sa yung presentation of the data. Only necessary items lamang. Have your conclusion contains only valid and supported findings instead of falsified results. No, dapat merong supported findings. Kaya nga bago tayo mag-draw ng conclusion, so we need to what? We need to present the data, we need to analyze, and we need to interpret that before we draw a conclusions. Practice utmost honesty and objectivity in stating the result of your critical evaluation of outcomes that you expect to support your conclusions. Ayan. Practice utmost honesty. So that's it for our subject, practical research 1. That's qualitative research. So next school year, you will be conducting a research called quantitative research. So now I will show you one of the research na ginawa ng grade 12 para magkaroon kayo ng idea. Ito sasabihin ko sa inyo, there is no walang perfect, no? There's no perfect. Walang perfect na research. Okay, I believe on that, no? So marahil baka kayo hindi naniniwala, but I'll give you some example, no? Nung magkaroon ng COVID, and then siyempre mga researchers ang gumagawa or nangalap paano magkakaroon ng pangontra, that's the vaccine. And if we are going to notice na walang vaccines na 100% effective, no? Laging may butas. So it means kahit pag-gaano kagaling ang researcher, mayroon pa rin niyang kakulangan. Kaya naman kayo nagagawa at magkakandak din ng research, do not, huwag kayong matatakot na magkamali. But what I am suggesting to you is to do your best para maging maganda ang kalalabasan ng inyong research. Now, so let's see this. This is the research of Group 1 ng ABM. Grade 12. Entitled Unique and Modernized Marketing Style of Small Business in Attracting Customers. So their topic is focuses on modernized marketing style. So paano kaya ang kanilang introduction to this topic, no? So sabi ko sa inyo, dapat ang introduction, dapat ito ay catchy. So sa introduction pa lang, ma-attract na si reader na basahin ang inyong research. So remember, hindi nyo ito ginagawa para lamang sa inyo. You are conducting a research because you want to solve the problems, right? Kaya nga 'di ba, yung ating first lesson, the inquiry based, no? So problem solving kasi ito, no? Hindi pwede na gagawa ka ng research na wala ka namang masusolve na problema. So naisip mo, ito pala may problema yung ganito. So gawan ko nga ito ng research how to solve it, no? So this time, ang naisip nilang problema yung how to attract, no, customers. And then kaya nga sabi nila modernized marketing style. So yan ang kanilang topic. Now, let's see kung paano sila naggumawa ng introductions. So first thing they did, no, ay define nila si marketing. So introduction, sabi nila, marketing is one of the most important function in business because it helps you sell your products or services. The bottom line of any business is to make money, and marketing is an essential channel to reach the end goal. No, in-emphasize nila the importance of marketing. Now, Creative explained that without marketing, many businesses wouldn't exist because marketing is ultimately what drives sale. Ayan. So atin nang nalaman, oo nga pala, no? So marketing is very important in business. No? Well, in fact, that's true naman, no? Sa isang business, ang mga marketing head, yung mga kasama sa marketing department, they are the ones na nagpapasok ng pera sa company. Now, so they also state the reason why they choose this kind of topic. No, this is the reason why. Okay, and then take note, they use researcher. No, instead na sabihan na this is the reason why we. No, do not use we or I in the research. You should what? Use researchers. So this is the reason why the researcher, so sila yon, came to this title, Unique and Modernized Marketing Style of a Small Business in Attracting Customer. Bakit? To help and ensure the small businesses who are struggling to create their own business, to share an idea that would help them to make their business more profitable and long-lasting. Also, to drop an organization that would help them to financially support their business. No? So if you are a business owner and then trying to put up your own business, no, kapag nabasa mo yung introduction, aba, ay gaganahan kang basahin ang kabuuan ng kanilang research. Why? Because yung kanilang goal ay what? To help the small businesses in what? In creating or making more profit. No? By what? By this kind of topic, unique and modernized marketing style. Now, yung kanilang background of study, hindi ko na ma-share kasi there's something wrong here. But I already mentioned to you na sa background of study, you may include no, kung sino kaya ang pwede nating maging respondents. Like for example, when we say about modernized marketing styles, so pwede nating tingnan ano ba yung mga pamamaraan. Like for example, the mass media, the advertisement, the YouTube advertisement. So we can add those in the background of the study. No? And also yan, ito kasi pina-add ko sa kanila, no? If you are going to make a background of study yan, pwede rin ka rin mag-cite ng other related topics like this, no? Upon looking on the previous research, especially by the article written by Smriti Chand, there are 7 major importance of marketing, namely. So this portion, you are discussing the importance of marketing. So that's part of the background. Now, marketing helps their transfer, exchange, and movement of goods. Marketing is helpful, etc., etc., etc. Now, so after making an introductions and background of study, the next part is the statement of the problem. Statement of the problem, or SOP. So statement of the problems is very important in research. Why? Because kung ano ang inilagay natin sa statement of the problem, the questionnaire that we're going to create bago tayo mag-survey must be aligned to the statement of the problem that we created. And of course, the presentation of the data in chapter 4 must also align in the statement of the problem and the conclusions as well. Now, sabi nila, this research tend to determine, they are trying to determine the unique and modernized marketing style. So ang gusto nila, ma-determine lang ano ba yung mga unique at saka makabagong paraan ng marketing or yung pagbebenta, no, pagpapakilala ng kanilang products or services. So yun ang gusto nilang malaman, yung unique and modernized. So they're trying to determine the unique and modernized marketing style. So first thing, sabi nila, what are the demographic profiles of the respondents? So mostly lagi ito ang sinasama, but it is, if this is not necessary for your research, do not include the demographic profile. But let's see. No? So do you think yung kayang gender ay may kinalaman sa unique and modernized marketing style? Kasi kung hindi, pwede kasi nating hindi na isama kasi pandagdag pa ito sa ating ipipresent na table sa chapter 4. No? But hindi naman kayo gagawa ng chapter 4 kasi hindi kayo magsi-survey. No? Hanggang chapter 3 lang, gagawin nyo yan sa next school year kasi buong taon kayo puro research yan. Okay, so gender. No, gender daw, nilagay nila. May kinalaman kaya ito in determining unique and modernized marketing style, the gender? May factors kaya? Yeah. Yes, maybe yes. Why? Sa tingin natin, sino ba ang higit na napapansin kapag nag-a-advertise or gumagawa ng ads? Di ba mga kababaihan? So, it means may factors. May factors ang gender now when it comes to marketing. Civil status. May kinalaman kaya na single or married or widow when it comes to marketing? Yes, mayroon, right? Kasi mostly, mas pinaniniwalaan yung halimbawa ang iyong product na ibebenta ay for single, no? Siyempre kung ikaw ay single, you are best fitted for that products. Okay? So may kinalaman. Yung kayang age, pwede kaya? Yes, no? Kasi may range or di kaya naman ay ang produkto ay is not generalized for a specific person lang. No? Let's say for example, ito, let's say yung ano ba yun? Scent yung pangmatandang gatas, no? Mayroong adult plus, Bourbon adult plus. So ibig sabihin, ang maaring mag-promote niyan ay medyo may edad na. So ganyan, no? Years in service, no? It's also part, no? It is also a factors in determining unique and modernized marketing style, no? If you are very familiar now in that kind of business, maybe mas magaling kang magbenta or mag-market ng iyong produkto. And then average income per day, no? Isinama rin nila. And then next na SOP, this is an SOP number 2. What are the factors that motivate customer to buy product? Ayan. So, gusto na nating malaman. So, ano kaya mga factors na pwedeng maka-motivate kay customer para makabili ng produkto? Ayan. So pag nalaman natin yan, pwede tayo mag-create ng conclusion. Ito pala ang gusto nila. Ito pala nakaka-motivate sa kanila kapag maganda yung ads or di kaya maganda yung nagpo-promote. So something like that. No? So it depends to the respondent's answer. Next, what are the advantages of social media as a platform of advertisement? So, ayan, gusto rin nating malaman since that is the trend right now, no? Instead of paying millions of pesos sa TV ads, ngayon, hindi na, no? Mag-Facebook, ano na lang, Facebook ads or sa mga Twitter, mayroon na rin yata mga ads dyan, sa YouTube, yan. So what are the advantages? So, ano kaya mga advantages? Gusto rin nating malaman, no? Kasi baka nga naman, mas tayo makakatipid or makakamura or di kayo mas makikilala ang ating produkto kapag gumamit tayo ng ganitong platform or social media platform. So what is the best way or best strategy to survive business? Lalo na ngayon, no? So kapag hindi kilala ang iyong produkto, maaaring hindi ka magtagal sa market. So kaya naman, tatanungin natin sa respondents, what is the best way or best strategy to survive in business? No? Marahil magbibigay sila ng mga techniques dyan. So what are the effective ways, no, of attracting customer to buy products? So, ano kaya mga makabago or mga epektibong pamamaraan para mahikayat nating bumili si customer? So those are the SOP na na-create nitong group na ito, and then those questions naman ay related sa kanilang topics, no? Na unique and modernized marketing style of small business and attracting customers. So ang pag-create ng hypothesis, because that's the next part, no? Maybe yung iba sa inyo pinaggagawa ko na ng hypothesis, wala pa ring natatapos. So this is the proper way to create a hypothesis. No, it's something like assumption, no? Sa iba kasing school, they're not using assumptions, only hypothesis. And well, in fact, sa aming masteral, no, hindi rin kami gumagamit ng assumption. So pag sinabing hypothesis, pwedeng negative or positive yan. No? So ang ginamit nila, there is no, pwede kasing there is significant or there is no significant effect of marketing style in attracting customer and business. So ito, assuming lang nila ito na wala daw significant effect ang marketing style in attracting customer in any business operation. So, yan ay kanilang patutunayan after nila mag-survey.
no? Sa kanilang conclusion, titingnan nila, ay, mali pala ang aking hypothesis or ay, tama pala ang ating hypothesis, no? Assumption nila, ayan. So, ang assumption is based also sa given SOP, no? Kung ano ang nasa SOP, yan lang yun ang ilalagay nyo rin sa inyong assumption, no? Assuming you are going to assume maybe this is the answer of the customer or the respondents. Yeah. So, assumptions. And if there's 5 assumption, there's 5 SOP, dapat meron din tayong 5 assumptions. Ayan. Now, let's continue. Purpose and objective of the study. Dito nyo na inanarrate. Ano ba ang purpose? Bakit ito? No, bakit ito ang napili nyong topic? So, what is your purpose? Ano ba ang gusto nyong patunayan? Anong gusto nyong mangyari? Bakit ganyan ang iyong research? No? So, the purpose of the study is to give an idea and knowledge the small businesses owners. So, magbibigay daw sila ng idea and kaalaman sa mga business owner. The researchers would like to boost their confidence in terms of sharing to them that there are also owners that are experiencing different problems just to survive in their businesses. Also to inspire them to do more and not to look at their component at their siguro ito competitor, no, of their component as a hindrance where it comes to establishing a business, but to use it as a power to be more confident to think a unique ideas. No, just narrate your purpose. No, may mga purpose naman kasi, kaya nga 'di ba, before you make a research title, so meron na kaagad kayong naiisip, bakit ito? Bakit ito ang aking magiging research? No? Bakit dito tatakbo? So, dito, ina-narrate nyo na lang kung ano ba yung, syempre, may mga problem kayong nakita. So, you are going to narrate your purpose is what? To solve the problem related to the topic that you have chosen. All right. So, next is the significance of the study. So, significance of the study, of course, lagi niyong isasama kayo. So, sino bang makikinabang nito? Kayo rin. No, kayo, hindi lamang yung makakabasa. Ay hindi niyo isinasama kasi puro copy-paste. Marahil. So, hindi kayo nakinabang. So ang unang makikinabang siyempre kayo. Kaya ilalagay niyo the researcher. No? Kayo mismo. The researcher itself. No? And then, other beneficiaries of your research. Ayan. So, naman nila, social media online seller, media users, companies, future researchers. No? And scope and delimitation. Sa part na ito, ay sasabihin nyo naman hanggang saan lang ba ang scope or hangganan ng inyong research. Bakit? Bakit kailangan na ilagay ang scope and delimitation of your study? Because this is very important, mostly sa defense. Kasi kung hindi kayo nagbigay ng boundaries, maaaring ang itanong sa inyo is not related to your study. So you need to what? To make a scope and delimitation para hindi rin masyadong malawak ang inyong magiging study. Bakit? Nagbigay kayo ng boundaries. So hanggang dito lang kami. No, ayan. So ayan. So out of all business owners that are conducting their online sellings through Facebook, no? So ibig sabihin ang kanilang lang magiging respondents ay what? Online seller saan? Sa Facebook. So ibig sabihin hindi kasama si Twitter, si YouTube. So yung mga nagbebenta sa YouTube, nagpo-promote sa YouTube, hindi kasama. Through Facebook lang. So yun lang mga Facebook lang, nag-online seller sa Facebook. So 50 small business owner were used as a sample in conducting the research. So this study disregards whether the respondents are male or female. So it means it is open for all. Yan. Each of the small business owners given the same questionnaire to answer. Ayan. So sinama pa rin nila, no? Siyempre nga naman, iba-iba ang questionnaire mo, ang question. So, dapat the same lang. Alright, sa definition of terms, So lahat ng mahalagang or may hirap na salita, it must be included here. And definition of terms ay hindi nagsasara unless tapos na ang inyong research. Why? Because even nakalagay ito sa chapter 1, yung chapter 2 nyo hanggat hindi pa siya tatatapos at may na-encounter kayo ng mga difficult word, you need to include that as well in definition of terms. Kahit pa sa chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. So kapag tapos na, saka pa lang ito matatapos itong definition of terms na nasa chapter 1. Okay. So let's proceed to chapter 2 na tayo, no? Review of related literature. No? Sa review of related literature and studies, yan. Hindi mawawala yung lagi itong introductions. Dito kasi natin ni-narrate ano ba yung aasahan. Aasahan natin sa buong chapter 2. O yan. Kaya ito, this chapter discusses the associated literature and study which are divided into two categories, local and foreign. This chapter includes related literature and studies that are undertaken as part of the study and consists of the review and discussion of articles, studies, facts, and principles, inquiries, and or investigations. These sections, observations, ideas, views, and judgment may be useful in the current research project. No? Sa aming MBA, no, hindi na namin pinaghiwa-hiwalay si foreign literature, local literature, magkakasama na yan. So this time, since yan ang template and format na binigay ni Genesis, so we need to follow that format. Okay, so sa foreign literature, of course, ang kukunin yung mga author ay foreign, no? Mga hindi Filipino. Foreign literature. According to Height ng 2000, small business are frequently lauded as an important part of our national and local economy. Yan. So you're going to what? To recognize din. Recognize them. Yun yung ating binabanggit nung nakaraan, no? Proper citation. No? Dapat ay nare-recognize yung mga nagsalita niyan or nagsulat niyang mga literature na yan. Hindi basta tayo magka-copy. And technique, guys, no? So you didn't need to copy all the articles or all the research that they conducted. Just summarize it. And kasi kung ikakopy nyo, lahat na, wala na kayong natutunan doon, no? Nakita, sinearch, halimbawa, nag-search kayo modernized marketing style and then na-search nyo si Height, lahat ng kanyang sinulat, kinopy nyo na. So hindi ganoon, guys. So you need to what? You need to summarize what this author mentioned in his or her research. Kaya ang nade-develop sa atin when it comes in writing chapter 2, review of related literature and studies, ay reading skills. So we need to read those articles first before nating isama sa ating research. Reading and comprehension ng ating dinidevelop in writing the chapter 2. Yan. So you can see, yan ang kanilang local literature, foreign studies. Okay, so mga foreign studies, it is galing ito sa mga previous research, no? Yung mga hindi na-publish na books. Kasi itong inyong research ay natin to, i-print, no? After magkaroon ng defense, that's oral defense, before kayo gumraduate ng grade 12, ay ipiprint, ibubookbind, and dadalhin sa library. So before, ay talagang nagtsatsaga kaming pumunta sa library. No? Pumunta sa library to read those research na related sa aming kinandak na the same study. No? So foreign and local studies, galing yan sa mga previous research. No? previous students na nag-conduct ng the same studies. So after that, magkakaroon tayo ng synthesis, no? Local studies, and then synthesis. I think na-discuss ko na ito sa inyo. Okay, so theoretical or conceptual framework muna pala. Parang walang ito, synthesis, no? Synthesis of the study. So sa synthesis of the study, ayan, kaya nga 'di ba sabi ko sa inyo na dapat basahin muna or nakasummarize kung ano man ang ilalagay nyo dito sa inyong chapter 2. Why? Sa synthesis of the study, dito nyo kasi sila pagbabanggain or magkakaroon tayo ng comparison. O magkakaroon tayo ng yan nga, comparison. Titingnan natin sino bang author ang nagtugma sa kanilang study, sa kanilang recommendation. Sino kaya ang salungat, no, sa ganitong recommendation or sa kanilang naging conclusion when it comes to their chosen field of topics. So yan ang ilalagay natin sa synthesis. No? Let me read nga itong kanilang synthesis. The study undertaken by Airline, Lockett and Snyder's creating a marketing strategy will be an advantage to their competitors to be patronized in your community. Okay? Also, financial planner play big role in business. They could help the business to be fully financially stable and might also bring unique ideas to be implemented in business. Additionally, business leaders could lead the high volume of their products merchandise through various, no? Medyo hindi ko nakita yung comparison, no? But let's see the other paragraph. Following that, other researchers that have the same point of study conducted by Kang. So it means nagkaroon na ngayon ng comparison. No, sabi ni Airline, Lockett and Snyder, ninarrate nila, and then ganun din pala ang findings ni Kang, ni Camilleri and Lopez. So it means yun na nga, nagkaroon tayo ng comparison. So very important na talagang binasa nyo yung mga pinaglalagay nyo dito sa related sa local studies, foreign studies, local literature, and foreign literature. Hindi basta copy-paste lang. So although talagang ito, pampakapal lang ito ng research. Pakapala ng papel or research, pampadagdag lang. But ang silbi nila is what? Halos narito sa synthesis. We are going to synthesize their study. Magkakaroon tayo ng comparison. Para nga naman, alam din natin, no? Kasi pwede nating, ito pala yung study nila, pero yung aking study is different from their study, yung aking naging findings. At malalaman nyo yan after nyo magkaroon ng survey. So after synthesis, narito na ang theoretical or conceptual framework. No? Sa theoretical, yan, pipili lang din kayo ng one theory. No? Maybe one theory related to your topic. So according to math, Palmquist, the theory has 4 key concepts: keeping cost down, differentiation, customization, and internalization. No? Theoretical and conceptual framework. This is the conceptual framework, no, na ginawa nila. So modernized marketing styles, effective method, unique techniques, customer satisfaction, workers, and then survey conclusion and recommendations. So paradigm of the study naman, yan, sa paradigm of the study, ito yung pinaka-popular, that's IPO model, no? The input, process, and the output, no? The profile of the respondents. So those questions related to your topics, no? Yung nakalagay sa inyong SOP, that's your input. And then after processing it through questionnaire or kung ano man ang inyong gagamitin, through an interview or observation, ang end niyan, it's your output. No? Ano yung inyong makukuhang data. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 2. So let's proceed to chapter 3. No? Itong chapter 3 na tayo. The research methodology. No, ito para mga assumption lang din kadalasan ito. No? Research design. Ano ba yung ating gagamiting design? So ang ginamit nila, mostly ito naman ang ginagamit, descriptive research. Ito na yung population and sample. Ito yung ating binabanggit nung nakaraan na hindi lahat ay kailangan mong surveyan. Let's say for example, no? Ang iyong target na respondents ay Genesis Christian Academy, hindi naman lahat ng estudyante ng Genesis ay iyong bibigyan ng questionnaire para sila ay mag-answer. So, we need to what? To have a sample. And tatawag na sample size. Sample size. Gaya rin naman ng nagaganap ngayong mga survey, no? Like for example, sino na ang nangunguna sa presidential balls, right? So hindi naman lahat ng voters ng buong bansa ay natanong. No, they are selecting randomly, no? Na-discuss na natin 'yan randomly kung sino lang ba ang kanilang magiging respondents. Okay? We are just reviewing what we have discussed the theory, no? Yung mga theory na discuss natin previously, no? Population and sample na tayo. So the respondents of the study include a small business proprietorship with no specific year in business in Tala, Caloocan City. So Tala pala sila magkakaroon ng survey. In order to determine the study's respondents, the respondent used stratified random sampling. No? Na-discuss na natin yan, stratified random sampling. They were chosen because their small business style has to do with structured customer. No? Yan. Paano natin na-compute yung sample size? Yung sample size based on the population. Now, ang ginamit natin dyan, hindi nila pinakita, no? Sloven formula. Sloven formula ang ginamit natin dyan. Hindi na pala nila pinakita rito. You can search it sa YouTube, the Sloven formula. And I do believe dinidiscuss din yan sa inyong statistics subject, probability and statistics. Kaya nga, ang aking laging sinasabi sa inyo, makinig kayo sa inyong statistics and probability teacher. Pagbutihin nyo yan sapagkat gamit na gamit nyo yan sa research. Ayaw na naming mga research teacher na iulitin pa yan. No? Kasi nga, that's part of statistics and probability. No? Ngayon pa lang dapat pinanan nyo yan. Iniintindi nyo yan. No? Magaling naman ang teacher nyo dyan. Statistics and probability. So research instrument. So ang kanilang magiging research instrument. So as you can see here, no? As you can see here, let's go back to population and sample. So the total population of 18 to 22 daw ay 23. Pero ang sample size lang, ang kanilang bibigyan ng questionnaire, since questionnaire ang kanilang gamit, ay 20 lang. No? So that's the purpose of sample size. No? Hindi lahat natin sila tatanungin. Kasi nga meron tayong sample size lang na kukunin. Alright, so the research instrument that they are using ay ito, questionnaire. No, questionnaire daw. So part 1, the first part consists of the respondent demographic profile. Of course, kasi yan ay part ng kanilang SOP, the demographic profile. Second part is the assessment. Hindi ko ito napansin. No? Medyo mali itong gawa nilang ito. Sabi ko nga, wala namang perfect research. No? Hindi na natin napansin ito. Yeah, so medyo may konting lapse, medyo may konting mali itong kanilang ginawa nito. Because I handling 6 group, binabasa ko yan isa-isa, ayan, hindi ko na napapansin yung iba. 6 group, kaya medyo mahirap maging research advisor, no? Now, kaya kayo, pag kayo sinasabihan ko na mag-submit na, babasahin ko pa kasi yan. Hindi ko naman yan basta na lang pag nakita, ay maganda yung pagkakaayos, okay na to. No? Binabasa ko yan isa-isa. Ito, hindi ko ito napansin. Medyo sablay ito. Ayan. Since ipapaulit ko na lang siguro yan. Alright, so let's continue. No? So dito sa questionnaire, you are going to narrate. Ano ba ang napapaloob sa yung questionnaire? No? This is an assumption lang kasi wala pa talaga kayong survey questionnaire. Gagawin nyo pa yan sa chapter 4. But since that is part of chapter 3, that's research instrument, you what? You need to what? To assume. Ito, since hindi ito nagtugma dun sa kanilang ginawang questionnaire, ay di papabago natin, no? Papapalitan. So kaya dito ay ano lang ito, kahit medyo mali, but of course, kapag nagawa nyo na yung talagang questionnaire ay hindi tumama dun sa ating research instrument, ay di papalitan, no? It's either your questionnaire or this portion ng inyong research. Alright? So, ayan. So, data gathering procedure. The data gathering procedure. So, hindi pa, wala pa nga, hindi pa kayo nagsisurvey, pero sa chapter 3, you need to, ano na kaagad, you need to narrate as well yung inyong data gathering procedure. So, first thing, letter of request or approval, no? So, chapter 4, gagawa kayo niyan, letter of request, kasi hindi pa pwede na, basta na lang kayo magsisurvey without letter of request, no? We need to approve that as well. So validation instrument, those are the questionnaire, reliability, administering the survey, retrieval, data analysis. No? A statistical treatment of data naman, nariyan frequency count and percentage. No? So ito yung ating gagamitin na mga formula in analyzing the data, no, sa chapter 4. Formula, that's the statistical treatment of data, random frequency count and percentage. Weighted mean, no? Nariyan din ang weighted mean. Likert scale, no? So kailangan kung yan ay nakalagay dito sa chapter 3, makikita natin dapat yan sa chapter 4, no? Yung mga Likert scale, the weighted mean, frequency count and percentage, no? Sa Likert scale, ito yung ating binabanggit kanina, no? Oh, yan. So mayroong symbol SA, yung strongly agree, no? Yan. Kung ang ma-compute no ay between 4.21 to 5, so it means ang interpretation niya ay strongly agree. I think that's it. That's it for chapter 1 to 3. So let's see. Now let's see naman yung chapter 4. No, chapter 4. Since natalakay na natin yung data analysis kanina. Okay, chapter 4 tayo. Let's see the chapter 4 of group 1. Doon, medyo mabagal yung aking internet. Hold on for a second. Hindi ko pala siya na-open. The chapter 4. So, paano kaya yung chapter 4? Now, of course, yung chapter 4 is based on the data gathered. Kaya, nag-survey muna sila bago sila gumawa ng chapter 4. Ay, mukhang ayaw mag-open ng ating... Ayan. So, chapter 4, final draft. Alin kaya dito ang chapter 4 nila? Let's see nung final draft. Okay. Not this one. Kasi ito'y... Okay, hold on for a second. I'll keep trying to know. Mukhang walang chapter 4 ang mga to. Okay, ito. Chapter 4. Nasa chapter 4 nila, ayan. Yan. Yan. Ito ba yung gawa nila? Okay, hold on. Chapter 4. Bakit parang... Okay, so let's use this. Let's use this illustration. So sa chapter 4, I think ako ang gumawa nito, Yan, sa chapter 4, kung ilang SOP, ganun lang din dapat karami ang table. But it depends. No? Kasi meron mga, let's say for example, table 1 point something. So ito lang yung presentation. Yung table 1, yung nakita natin kanina sa SOP niya. Let's go back nga sa SOP. Para nakikita nyo kung paano talaga. Yan. So ang SOP niya, nasa na siya? Ayan. Demographic profile of the respondents in terms of the following. So ang aking suggestion, dapat magkakasama lang sila sa isang table. That's why here, yan, magkakasama. No, magkakasama. That's chapter 4 naman. No? I-discuss ito sa inyo ng inyong susunod na teacher. Kung hindi na ako, no? Yan, so gender, dapat kung paano ang pagkakaayos, no, sa SOP, dapat ganun din ang pagkakaayos, no? Gender ang nauna. Ay di gender ang ating ipipresent, no, based on the survey. So mayroon daw tayong 52 respondents, tama ba? Yeah, that's 52 respondents. 47. Hold on, baka nagkakamali ako. Nasanay sa calculator. Ayan, let me calculate. 47 plus 9, 47 plus 9. 56, no? 56 respondents. So they have 56 respondents, and then based on the survey, meron daw 9 female. 9 male, and then 47 female. And then this is the corresponding percentage. So paano nakuha yan? So 9 divided by 56, that is 16.07%, and then 47 divided 56, that is 83.93%. Okay, next. Naipipresent nila yung civil status. Ganun ba? Ang nakalagay sa SOP, that's correct, no? Civil status. So, meron daw single na 45 na respondents are single, and then married 11. So age, ganun din, na rin yung bracket, 18 to 22, 26 yung respondents, 23 to 27, that's 18 yung respondents, and 28 to 32, that's 12 yung respondents. And then the corresponding percentage. Yung year in service, so ayan, nakalagay na rin. Okay. Average income per day, ayan, nakalagay na rin. And sa baba, gagawan lang natin siya ng interpretation. Word interpretation. Ina-narrate nyo lang, no? As shown in table 1, more than 83%, o hindi na sinakto kasi 83.93. So more than 83% were female and only 16% were male. Ayan. In terms of civil status, most of them were single and with more than 80%, while there were 19.64% are married. Okay? So ganun lang. And then yung next table, that will be the SOP number 2. So ano yung SOP number 2? Factors that motivate customer to buy products. So let's see. Motivation of customer to buy products. Ayan. So as you can see, no, sa promos, so ito yung mga sagot kasi nila. Promos daw, weighted mean. So paano na-compute yung weighted mean? So madali ngayon mag-compute ng weighted mean because we are using Excel. No, Excel ko lang yata ito, no, if I'm not mistaken, no. Iko-convert lang natin lahat 'yan. So 4.27, that's strongly agree based on our Likert scale naman, no? Based on our Likert scale. No? Let me ano ito? Let me screenshot and then I'll go to our Likert scale. Yung Likert scale natin nasa chapter 3. Ayan, so nakita natin ito 'yon, no? Sabi ay 4.27 daw na compute nating weighted mean, no? Ituturo yan sa inyo ng statistics teacher nyo, dapat makinig kayo kung paano mag-compute ng weighted mean. Sabi ay 4.27 promos. Itong interpretation, titingnan natin, 4.27. So 4.21 to 5, dito siya pasok. So it means ang interpretation niya ay strongly agree. That's why we have a strongly agree sa interpretation. The same sa other statements here, yung previous daw, nung ating na-compute, mayroong 4.16 weighted mean, quality of the products, 4.23, and so on and so on. No? And of course, after that, after presenting it in a table, you are going to what? You are going to narrate and interpret the given data. So SOP number 3, the advantage of using social media platform of advertisement. So ito na yon. So nakita na natin. Siyempre kinumpit uli natin ang weighted mean and then nagkaroon tayo ng interpretations. All right. Strategy to survive business. Ayan, the same. Nariyan ang mga weighted mean and then ito yung interpretation that's sa ating Likert scale. Okay. All right. So that's the end of chapter 4. Yan. Yung iba mga bonus question na lang yan, no? Kaya sinama pa rin nila. But the most important, dapat ay align sa ating SOP. No? Align sa SOP. No? Let's check yung kanilang chapter 5. No? Chapter 5 na tayo, the recommendation na. No? Summary of findings, recommendations, and summary of findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Now, let's see. Chapter 5. Paano kaya nila ginawa ang kanilang chapter 5? All right, so chapter 5, of course, we need to what? To summarize the findings. So demographic profile. May nakalagay pa kung sinong gumawa nito. Parang naman alam ko sinong gigradean ko. No? So the demographic profile of the respondents. Ayan, the research study has a total of 56 respondents were 47 are female and 9 are male. So isa-summarize nyo lang din kung ano kadalasan ang nakalagay sa dito sa interpretation sa baba ng table, ganun din halos no ang inilalagay sa summary of findings. Medyo iba-ibahin nyo lang ng wordings, okay? So yan, factors motivates customer, no? Ayan, based on the data gathered, most of the customer ganyan, and so on and so forth. Now, after summarizing the findings, ano nang gagawin natin? Conclusion. Based on the summary that we did, no? So, conclusion na. Most of the respondents are single, female, ages 18 to 22, new in the business with 1 to 3 years of experience with average income per day of 500 to 1,000. So, it means, itong mga data na ito yung mga pinakamatataas ang score. No? As you can see, let's see. Okay. So chapter 4, ano yung pinakamataas? Female. Okay, female daw, single, age 18 to 22, and 1 to 3 years in service. So right? So that's what we called, that's the thing that included in the conclusion. So yung pinakamataas na numbers na nag-appear sa ating presentation of data. Okay, so conclusion number 2, most of the respondents have agreed the factors in motivating customer to buy products are promos, previous, qualities of the products, and installment. Quality of the products the most priority of the customer in buying product. The quality of the products is the most, no? Take note of the most. So it means ini-emphasize natin ito. Kasi dito tayo magbabase naman sa ating recommendations. Okay, so next, there are many advantages of social media as platforms. So remember, itong conclusion natin na ito ay galing dito sa ating summary of findings. Okay. So na tayo, number 4. The most effective ways to survive in business is through strengthening leadership. Ayan. So, kasi yung strengthening leadership, yun yung nakita natin na pinakamataas ang score. No, let's see nga. Strengthening leadership. Oh, where is it? Okay, hold on. Nasa na siya? Mukhang ipapahiya ako ng research na ito. Let me go back. The most effective way to survive business is through strengthening leadership, always striving for innovation by introducing new brands and investing in managing funds. So let me go back. Bakit parang wala? Nasaan siyang strengthening services na yan? Mukhang ipapahiya ako ng kinuha kong sample research. 3.5 leadership strategy. Investment yung una no? Ayan, medyo mali. No? Mabutit na-check ko. Ipapabago ko ito sa kanila. No, mali. Dapat ay through investment. No? So, ayan. So, nakita ko yung pagkakamali. I take note of this. So, dapat ito kung ano yung pinakamataas. No? Since hindi pa nga ito tapos, ay ginawa ko lang na example sa inyo para naman medyo may idea kayo on how to make a research. All right, so yan, I'll take note of this. Mali itong chapter 4 nila, number 4 conclusions, dapat siya ay investment. Kasi yung investment ang may highest score. Okay. Now, let's proceed to recommendation. Sa recommendation, so yan, magbe-base na tayo sa ating conclusion. Business should attract customers by giving them promos. So bakit ito naging recommendation? Why? No, why? Bakit na may why na? Why this is the recommendations ng grupong ito, no? Dapat daw yung mga businesses should always attract customers by giving them promotions. Kasi sabi nung kanilang conclusions, no? Sabi ng kanilang conclusion, most of the respondents agree the factor by products are promos. No? By promotion. So, and other benefits they purchased in the product. So naroon pa rin. So, ang recommendation is based on the conclusions. No? Kaya nag-arrive sila sa ganitong recommendation. Utilize social media to introduce products and disseminate proper information about the brands. Ayan. So, kasi may factors yung social media in what? In introducing our products. Company must focus on people or customer satisfaction by listening to their feedbacks. Ayan. Okay? And then strengthen the leadership. Ito medyo mali, no? Kasi dapat ang ilalagay nila dito. So, nagkamali rin tuloy sila ng recommendation kasi dapat ay investment ang mauna. Kasi investment ang medyo mataas ang score. Ayan. So, dalawa ang kanilang magiging mali. Kaya make sure na ang ating conclusion ay talagang based on the highest score na ating nakita sa ating survey. So I think that's it. No, that's it for chapter 1 to 5. No, wala na akong utang. No, although i-discuss din naman sa inyo to next school year by your next or new instructor, and hopefully hindi na matigas ang ulo ng UMS and ABM. Yan. UMS, I'm very particular sa inyo kasi most of the students na nagkumukuha ng strand ng UMS ay magti-teacher, no? Magti-teacher. Sana naman ay pag-igihan nyo kasi you are building the nations through educating the minds of the students, no? So, pagbutihin UMS, kaya masyado akong mahigpit sa inyo. No? Sa ABM naman ay they are paying their taxes. Yeah. So building the nation pa rin. No? All right, so that's it for our discussion and for this subject practical research 1. And then next meeting, you need to present to me your chapter 1 to 3 of your research, and then I'll be grading you. Kung anong inyong nagawa, ay yun lamang ang magiging grade. Kung kulang, ay syempre kulang din. Hindi perfect score. No? So kung sakto, I'll check if kung pumasa sa aking panglasa ay hindi naman ako madamot sa grade. But if there's something wrong, yung mga lalo na yung naglagay ako ng comment na baguhin at nakita ko hindi binago, ay minus point ka agad, no? Minus point ka agad. And huwag kayong huwag kayong huwag kayong magagalit kung sakaling bumaba ang grade nyo. It is your performance, not my performance, no? Hindi ko naman dinegradean yung sarili ko diyan. Kung ano lamang yung inyong output, ay doon lamang ako magbe-base. No, I'm not looking on your behavior kasi may separate column yan sa inyong card, no? Hindi ibig sabihin ay mabait kayo sa akin ay tataas ang inyong grade, no? Doon kayo tataas sa column na pang ano siya, ng pang behavior. Okay? So, yan. That's it na for today, and then prepare yourself next meeting. We don't have a written final examination. Ang inyong final examination will be on May 12, and that is your title defense. No? To those who will not attend the title defense, hindi lang sa subject ko kayo magiging alanganin. Why? Because that title defense is your final examination for all the subjects you enrolled this sem, no? So kung kayo hindi umattend, edi wala kayong grade kay Sir Kevin, no, kay Sir Dave, kay Ma'am Joanne, sino pa ba mga teacher no? Wala kayong grade doon. So expect na baka hindi kayo mapumasok ng grade 12 or hindi kayo ipasa sa grade 12 kapag hindi kayo umattend. Whatever circumstances, you need to attend the title or title defense on May 12. No? So good luck everyone, and then magkakaroon tayo ng practice, no? Practice defense, pero not in the regular class like this na every Monday. Papatawag ko na lang kayo, siguro mga 7 in the evening if you're still available, no? 7 in the evening per group, and we will have a practice defense. So ako ang magtatanong sa inyo based on your chosen topics. Okay, so thank you very much, and hopefully to see you on May 12. Now May 12, that will be your final examination, title defense, and the next meeting natin will be on May, I think May din yun, no? Let me check my calendar, no? May 2 naman ang inyong presentation ng chapter 1 to 3 for your final requirement sa aking subject na practical research 1. So thank you everyone, and then if you have some question, you may raise now before we end our discussion and before we end our online class. Okay, so thank you, and just ask if you have some question.